So if you're in the credit card space at all, or you're an entrepreneur accessing capital for your business, you're probably well aware American Express is a household name for a good reason. It's one of the greatest credit card issuers in the marketplace. This video is going to give you some really important context of some shifts going on around the credit card and overall business lending space, particularly with American Express, and give you another pathway to either new or further success with American Express and accessing quality credit cards at the highest possible limits, and if need be, expanding that into business capital to expand and grow your business. So we're well aware American Express can be quite generous with their credit card limits when you get approved with them. We also know that they're very, very, very easy to scale with once you're in with them and establish a strong relationship. Meaning once you get your first credit card and you're in good standings with them, it is easy to get your hands on additional credit cards without them hard pulling your credit again and putting you through some of the same underwriting criteria as if you were coming in new. That having been said, there have been some significant shifts taking place in the banking and lending space as a whole, and American Express has really been one of the pioneers of some of these shifts and changes. One of those aforementioned changes is going to be a transition away from credit score dependency to cash flow dependency. That means underwriting is going to be shifting more in favor of cash flow focus. Not to say that credit scores are going away by any means, but the ability to get approved for, credit cards at really high limits with no real backdrop to your current financial circumstances via cash flow, relying just on your credit score alone is starting to fade into the background. And the reason for that is some other great creators have said in the space. And again, it's becoming obvious is, by all of the defaults that banks are experiencing and credit card issuers are experiencing. Credit scores are a lagging indicator, and they're also more of a behavioral indicator. So when it comes down to the actual ability to repay, this is where cash flow comes in. And more importantly, this is where I'm going to start introducing to you why it's going to be important to actually exercise American Express's banking features, specifically their personal and business checking accounts. They already, right now, at the time of this recording, are big on analyzing your cash flow when it comes to your business banking and business lending applications. So if you're applying, for instance, for their line of credit, the American Express line of credit, that is going to be evaluated by assessing your current business banking relationship. That same thing is going to become more prominent on the personal side and to continue to expand on the business banking side. And you're going to make it so much easier for yourself by already banking with American Express if you're looking to grow with them. Any institution that you're looking to access capital for or just get high credit limits with, you're going to want to push the majority of your banking functions and activities through that financial institution, or at least a reasonable or significant enough of it for that institution to see you as a healthy potential applicant and low risk. So it's going to be very important. And this is something I see a lot of people sleeping on with American Express because they've been so easy to grow, access, and scale without having to bank with them. Their banking features really are only a handful of years old at the time of this recording. Maybe late 2010s, early 2020s, American Express even rolled out its first, deposit accounts. So I understand the adoption rate not being the fastest in the world, but it is important to understand that the easier you make a bank, make it for a bank to underwrite you and analyze you, the better your results are going to be. And that means if you're looking to continue to have success, or you are looking to get success with American Express or any other financial institution, then you're going to want to exercise, in particular, their checking account. Why not savings? Why not a lump sum of money in a CD? Because they're looking for activity. They want to see activity. Why? For one, it's potentially more profitable for banks, depending on how your account relationships are set up. But more importantly, from an underwriting perspective, it teaches them what your actual financial situation looks like. I'm going to be able to get a gauge if I'm the financial institution assessing you. I'm going to be able to get a gauge on your inflows, your income, the consistency and the size of that income, your expenses, what kind of cash flow is left over, are you overdrafting? Like, there's going to be a lot of things that can be analyzed and assessed from your banking relationship. So if you're looking to continue to play the game of credit, or you're new getting into the game of credit and funding, you know American Express is going to be one of those household names that is going to constantly come up. You need to wake up and understand that just because you've been historically, many of us have been able to have tremendous success with American Express without banking with them altogether. That window is starting to shrink, or at least that era where that was the case is starting to shrink or fall behind us. They're going to be paying more and more attention to your bank account information. And yes, there's going to be a lot of technology that will allow them to simply link up to other institutions that you may be banking with. But what you have to understand is, how much easier and how much more responsive do you think American Express will be if they're able to see this without having to dig into any other institution and get your consent to access to any other institution? Once you're banking with them, automatic credit limit increases and other offers can start flooding in, because they already have access to what they need to assess you. They don't need to wait until you apply. They don't need to wait and get your consent, etc. They're looking at the relationship right there under the hood, right there under their roof. So that's going to make it so much easier for American Express. And as I said a minute ago, if you can make it easier for a bank to assess and analyze you, then you're likely going to be more rewarded with access to more financial resources from that institution. So the American Express checking account on the personal and the business side, whether again you're just a credit card enthusiast looking to get the highest limits so you can maximize spend and get rewards points, or you're an entrepreneur looking to secure capital, the checking account is going to be the center nucleus of underwriting going forward in this financial system. As technology expands and AI expands and all of that affects underwriting, and cash flow becomes more paramount for underwriting, having a checking account that's actually active and getting good activity will yield you much better results with American Express on the personal and the business side. So I want you to comment down below and let me know, are you already exercising the deposit relationships with American Express? If so, let me know, how that's worked out for you, how frequently or at what scale or scope you're using that relationship. Have you noticed a difference in American Express offering you more accounts, more cards, higher limits, automatic increases yet? Have you seen a change yet? If not, I want you to comment down below and let me know what you think about the future context of underwriting shifting to cash flow funding, if you plan to expand into a deposit relationship with American Express. So all my pioneers, welcome back. To my new viewers, welcome in. As always, I want you to like, comment, share, subscribe, boost the video, support the channel so the channel can continue to support you. You want to tie in with me on Instagram, links in the description below. If you want to look into working with me one-to-one as somebody who can assist you with your relationship banking, with your lending needs, with expanding and growing your personal or business credit, accessing funding, etc. There's a myriad of different areas I specialize in. There'll be a link in the description below, or you can just comment down below and we can get in communication from there. Other than that, I want each and every one of you to stay focused, stay in motion. I'll see y'all soon.